I go, here I go. Yeah, here I go, here I go.
Welcome in, everyone, to another episode of The Take with your host, Jackson Burleson, of course. And in this episode, man, we have a lot to go through. We have two special guests in the house. First off, we got to introduce the Packers fan, also working in Albany, Georgia as a multimedia journalist at WALB TV.
James Irvin.
Our second guest, Mike Zanetti, host of the Big Z Breakdown, and also he is at Wayne TV in Fort Wayne, Indiana, bro. Appreciate you guys coming on, bro.
Hey, thank you for having us, man. Yeah, it's gonna be a blast.
It's been a while, but it's always gonna be fun.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, and I'm gonna go ahead and just talk about this college football playoff thing real quick. I know we have a lot of storylines to go through. You know, Notre Dame, they're out. Alabama stays in. We've got a lot to. Miami gets in. There's a lot of that to unpack, but I want to unpack something first because, first of all, I think these group of five spots that they're giving out this year to JMU, Tulane, wasted spots in my opinion. Wasted spots. Like JMU has the 123rd strength of schedule. That's worse than 90% of the FBS. But just let that sink in for a second. They have one loss, and it's to Louisville. That's the only Power 4 team they played this entire season. Season. And then they had one win against Georgia State where they won by 7. You want to know how many games Georgia State won this year? One game. One. They went 0-8 in the Sun Belt Conference. Didn't win a single game. And James Madison beat them by 7. 7. And then let's go over to Tulane, shall we? So, I mean, they're probably the best group of five. I mean, you're always going to have one of those teams in there. I mean, we had Boise State last year, but I feel like Boise State's way better than these two guys. Like, my gosh. Let's look at Tulane's resume real quick, shall we? 77th strength of schedule. They played Ole Miss, who they're actually playing in the playoff. They lost by 35 in that game. So if you want to go back and watch that, that was not a good game. I think it's going to go the same way. But then key wins. They beat Duke, which who would have thought that would have actually been a good win going to the end of the year? Oh, yeah, that Duke wins the ACC. No one was thinking that at that point in the year. And then probably their worst win, in my opinion, is they beat South Alabama, who finished 4-8. They won by 2 points, my guy. So the bottom line is, why are we doing this, bro? Like, you're telling me right now Vanderbilt and Texas don't beat the crap out of both of these teams? You're crazy. And same with Notre Dame. All those teams are better than what I just talked about. It's not even fair, bro. Like, something's got to change. You got to put the best 12 teams. I've said that in multiple podcasts I've done, but yeah, I'm just going to kind of leave that open.
I'll say this. As a defender of the group of five spots. Now, getting two group of five teams in there, a little insane. I agree. But it's kind of Miami's fault. If Miami is the ACC champion, one of those other group of five teams knocks out, and then Vanderbilt, Notre Dame, Texas all have a case for it. Personally, out of those three, I probably would take Notre Dame or Vanderbilt just because Vanderbilt has head-to-head over Texas and a bad Florida loss. But Notre Dame also had the 43rd strength of schedule. So let's not act like they did play two very good teams. Lost, but they did play two very good teams. Granted, so I agree. I think this is Miami's fault, though. I think it's the ACC's fault because the ACC should have a group champion in there. They don't, though. But if Miami was the ACC champion, which I think we all would agree, if they played Virginia, they would beat Virginia. I think we'd all take Miami. So if Miami would have won, there's your ACC champion. And now either James Madison or Tulane isn't in, and you have one of those group teams in. But I think having the group of five schools makes sense, or otherwise they shouldn't be considered Division I, because if you're going to admit that's a different playing field, they're not Division I football then. If you're only going to take Power 4 conferences, that's your Division I conference. Just eliminate the group of five, have them go D2, or have that be the next step up. I've always said there should be a relegation system in college football where you're just kind of flip-flopping between that group. I think you could implement that, but I think you have to give a spot to the group of five schools. I think they're deserving of that school.
Give them their own playoffs at that point.
What's up, Mike?
Give them their own playoffs at that point. I mean,
exactly. That's exactly. And at that point, they're not FBS Division I football teams. They can be Division II. Just knock everyone down a level. because that's essentially what it's been all year. Everyone always says it's different levels of football. Well, then let's make it a different level of football and stop complaining, because we have to. Because right now, Tulane and Ole Miss are technically the same division. They're in the same league. Technically, we know they're not, but technically, Tulane and Ole Miss are FBS Division I football schools. So Mike's exactly right. They need to have their own playoff. We need to stop acting like Tulane and Ole Miss are actually on the same level. They're not. But also, it's kind of fun to have these teams and get more parity. We always said we wanted the football to get more parity. I think the large argument came with the 4-team playoff, where like teams, we had undefeated Cincinnati making it. Well, yes, they were a group of 5 school. So it just came from a lot of teams. You think of the UCF school that was really good but didn't get a shot at the playoff. The argument for the group of 5 schools came from that. It's because those group of 5 teams were missing the playoff to the bigger schools in the 4-team. So you just thought they'd give them a spot. This year, felt like no one was really good in college football. So it's like you kind of have 2 mid-tier teams. But I think James Madison matches up pretty well with Oregon, if you ask me. I think that game will be closer than a lot of people think.
I think that's going to be bad.
I feel like I'm not watching the first round of playos, how bad it is. You started with
Oklahoma is a great game.
Yeah,
the only 2 good games is A&M Miami, and then the Oklahoma. But
and Bama.
Like for me, in my standpoint, I think it's funny how we started with the 4-team playoff. The committee always makes a mistake. Now we try and make this argument. Oh, let's expand it. Let's go to 12. Let's go to 14. And you're still wrong. You still make a bad decision. And you still can't let all the teams that deserve to be in. And Vanderbilt, I think they got so robbed. Like Diego Pavia is playing unreal. Probably, a Heisman candidate. And it's just like, I just hate how they're trying to do college football like March Madness. It's not the same. Basketball, you can get a closer win because you could score a lot of points and you could catch a team on a bad day. Football, you have to play 4 full quarters and you still might get your teeth kicked in. This is just ridiculous. This is not basketball. Like, there's so much.
I would make an argument that it almost is closer because March Madness is 1 game, college football is 1 game. I mean, technically speaking, like anything can happen, but I mean, like
it's not the same.
I agree though.
The difference in basketball is like you can have a Jack Rocky story where one player is just incredibly hot that game and he took over and dropped 40.
Or like a John Morant from Murray State. Have that.
You got to win in the trenches. Like, there's so many factors. I mean, my argument is like look at last year's playoffs. Boise State got a bye. They still got it to them by Penn State. It was ridiculous. Almost every first round was an absolute blowout. It's a blowout. Tulane, they're done. JMU, they're done.
And even Virginia, Cincinnati,
it didn't matter who was in there. Virginia was in there. Virginia was done. I mean, it's ridiculous. There is 4 good teams. You got, I would even argue Texas Tech, Indiana. Is Georgia a top 4 team? Maybe. But Ohio State, Indiana, you give it to Georgia, sure. But there is a big separation of the top dogs and then your middle of the pack and then your teams that are your group of 5 teams. So it's like, and again, with the committee, you have to have some consistency. You can't have Notre Dame going ranked in the conference championship and then, does the conference championship mean something or does it not? Keep your rankings the same, or why are you flipping Miami for Notre Dame? It just makes no sense. Have some consistency, have some argument as to why these things are being made, because that's the committee. You compare it to the NFL where it's like, okay, seeding matters, head-to-head matters, but in college football, that means nothing.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of where I start, is that, like, you had Notre Dame ranked. Like, you had them in the playoff, like, leading into the final rankings, and then all of a sudden, nothing changes. Miami didn't play a game either. So, like, why would you wait until that last minute to put Miami in?
Why don't you wait until after this week?
If you had Miami in for the entire, time, fine. I understand it. But what was your logic going before the rankings of having them in? I
think it comes back to Duke winning the ACC. There's no way the committee could put another SEC team in the playoff because everyone would have complained. Even though Vanderbilt probably out of those 2 teams, like they have a really
Duke
good
messed
case.
everything up. They did. They messed everything up. You had an 8-5 ACC
Like I said,
champ.
you just give Miami the ACC championship and take one of Tulane or James Madison out for Notre Dame or Vanderbilt. The committee got the playoff right because ultimately they kind of did get the playoff right.
I agree.
I'd probably take BYU over both those other teams, but
I agree. Like the system that you have right now with the 5 highest ranked conference champions get in, you got 7 at-larges. I agree. They did get it right.
Get rid of the group of five,
I had no problem
of
any of these teams getting in. I made the group of 5 case. So everybody knows where I stand on that. They're in. The rules are the rules. They're in. They're one of the 5 highest ranked conference champions. I know no one likes it. That's why it needs to change, but the rules are the rules and they got it right. And I think Miami deserved to be in over Notre Dame because they beat them. And Notre Dame lost to
in
2
August.
teams that are in the playoff.
So
in August.
And they lost to Texas. Notre Dame lost to Texas A&M at home. So I feel like that loss should be taken into account. Like, hey, Miami, Notre Dame. We know why Miami got in. We know why.
You're
having a hot take.
I agree with you, Jackson. Like, the reason why Miami is in over Notre Dame is because they beat them. Like, just straight up. You can't go and have your best wins be Navy and like whoever else. They played a bunch of really bad.
No, their best wins, Notre Dame's best wins are Pitt and USC. Which stop it. Pitt wasn't even ranked at the end of the year.
Pitt got stomped by Miami.
Yeah, that wasn't even a good game.
With the eye test, I still want to see what if we saw Miami Notre Dame play right now?
Oh my gosh, dude!
That'd be a good game.
I'd take Miami, dude.
Would you take? Well, what about play-in games? Like, have your conference.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be really
cool.
Have your conference championships.
And then have your play-in games.
Like this week.
That's a great idea.
This week you have your play-in game. So Miami and Notre Dame can play it out for the final spot. BYU can play Alabama for that final spot. Vanderbilt, or it might be Vanderbilt and BYU. Either way, you could have your play-in game. So instead of leaving it up to a bunch of committee members who ultimately everyone has a different opinion. It's like everyone has. If us 3 were the committee right now, all 3 of our playoffs would look different. And that's just how it is. So to have everyone who's humans, make mistakes.
Well, that's where the consistency is a flaw.
The playoff can't be a subjective thing. Why is the playoff a subjective thing?
Yeah, it shouldn't be. It should be the best 12 teams get in. That was the whole logic with the 4-team playoff is the 4 best teams get in.
And also, all of a sudden it's changed.
Right, exactly. Ridiculous. And I'm a Florida State guy, so I also I sit at the forefront of this where it hasn't been consistent the last 2 years. We didn't get in because we lost 0 games. Now, granted, I think the committee made the right call at the time because I think Florida State would have gotten their teeth kicked in. But just to say, you could look at Ole Miss right now and be like, hey, they don't have Lane Kiffin. Obviously, they're going to get in, but that was the logic that the committee was using 2 years ago. Was the same exact thing.
I made that argument for Ole Miss. It's how can you they punished Florida State for losing something out of their control? It'd be a completely new look.
Right.
Well, Ole Miss on offense going to look completely different because they didn't only lose a head coach, they lost their play caller. You can't tell me that it's going to look the exact same as Lane Kiffin did. So should Ole Miss be in the playoff? Yes. But again, could that Tulane game be a little closer? Possibly.
Maybe. I think that's the game where we could make. I mean, I don't think Tulane's going to win, but I had a buddy of mine say maybe Tulane gives them a run. I think Tulane's the best group of 5 team. It's clear cut. I think they're the most talented. They have good receivers. They have a good running back. They have a good coach. I think they're probably the best fit. But also, JMU's a good program. That's a good story. They weren't even FBS football 2 years ago. And now look at
a team like TCU where they let in a couple years ago where Max Duggan led them to a little bit of a playoff run. Then would they get blown out? You want to see some Cinderella runs, but is it going to happen?
No, I don't think so.
In football, I think that's probably the most Cinderella run you can probably get is a first round win. But after that, it's it just becomes it gets hard. It gets hard.
Yeah, it does get hard. And also I feel like
it's a gray area.
The field, I agree with Mike. The field, when it comes to the top 4, I feel like there's a pretty decent gap. My opinion. I think you could go off of Georgia, Texas Tech, and Miami, Indiana. Those teams are both elite defensively. That's why I'm having a hard time picking a title winner.
Indiana?
Ohio State. Sorry, I meant to say Ohio State. But those 4 teams, those are good, defensive teams. They all play physical. I think you're right.
It's probably going to come down to one of those 3 teams too.
To me, Indiana,
I think so too.
Texas Tech.
I think this is one of the most down years for quarterbacks in college football. So there's not really a guy to me in this playoff where I'm do I do I trust him to win the big game? The only one that like Fernando Mendoza, right? But even then, it's like, man, am I trusting Fernando Mendoza right now to win the national championship?
And Julian Slayton, Cardinal Tate, Jeremiah Smith.
I trust those guys.
Yeah,
I do trust those guys, but like, if you're looking at Ohio State and Indiana, I feel like the one thing about them is like offensively, I just haven't really seen enough.
I agree.
For me to be like, oh yeah, like they're one of the best offensive teams in college football. But like defensively, their defenses are going to keep them in games and their offenses are going to be able to make plays. But I mean, my national championship, I mean, I've got Indiana, Ohio State, Big Ten rematch. And I got Indiana winning the whole thing, bro. I think Indiana defensively showed they could hang with a team like Ohio State in the Big Ten championship. I think I saw a lot. And also like Mendoza, like getting lit up like that at the beginning of the game. And then him coming back in and like showing some resiliency. I mean, you kind of have to like be like, oh yeah, like that's a team that can win it all. And Kurt Zanetti, like a master at making adjustments, second half adjustments. I think he's a master at that. I think he's the best coach right now in college football. So it's not even close in my opinion.
I love it. I mean, I just feel like this year was just, you take like a freaking Rubik's Cube and you mix it up, because who was the front runner for Heisman? What was it? Cade Klubnik? Are we serious? Like, and then it like upside down, the world gets flipped. And
now it's probably Vandy's quarterback or Mendoza. Those are probably the two.
Pavia's up there now. Freaking
Jeremiah Love's candidate.
Jeremiah Love, yeah. Saying Mendoza. Heisman Mendoza better win it.
I think Mendoza's gonna get it.
Mendoza.
He's gonna get it. He's gonna get it.
Full Indiana mode up there.
I don't blame him.
Heisman Mendoza. I mean,
but his
like
body
third.
of work is so good. Like
I think he's third in the rankings right now.
I think he's probably going to win.
You know who got snubbed? Jack Rodriguez, linebacker out of Texas Tech.
Yes, he did.
One of the best. One of the best defensive seasons here. And I think again, in a down year in offense, when you're looking at the numbers, you're like, man, who is the highest?
Dude, he had four interceptions this year.
Did what he did. 4 interceptions, 7 forced fumbles. They gave him a couple rushing touchdowns too on the season. It's like,
and he had like 111
you want to talk
tackles.
About who had a great season. Led the Red Raiders to an undefeated bye. When was last time we talk about Texas Tech like this?
They haven't
I'm not
won,
saying like
they haven't won the Big 12.
This
is the first time.
Exactly. But I'm not saying they didn't have other players. But if you ask that team who's the leader, it's Jack Rodriguez.
I agree. I feel like if it's they're not going to give it to a defensive player. They should. They're not going to, because they're the committee. But looking at the year, it's like, I don't even know if you can give it to Mendoza, because you look at the Heisman, the best player in college, it's like, I think Pavia is more electric than Mendoza, unfortunately.
That's fair, honestly. I kind of agree with that. But I think Mendoza's body of work and like certain situations in a game where like you have to have it, he's done.
It's like I feel like this is a good comparison. How about the Michael Penix, Jaden Daniels year, where Jaden Daniels had all these stats, he had all these great years, didn't even make it in the playoffs, and then Penix kind of just leads his team and wins every game. Kind of what Mendoza's doing, but he's not going to win the Heisman.
Fair. That's a good comparison.
Fair.
I do like Texas Tech though. I've been covering them this year a lot, and I think they're a very good team defensively, but I think their offense is good. I think they just don't get the respect. I think just because they're in the Big 12 and they had an easy schedule. But I mean, I think the one thing that I like about Texas Tech is their quarterback. Baron Morton can throw the ball. I mean, he can stand in there. He can take hits. He can throw the ball under pressure. Cameron Dickey, great running back. That dude's amazing. Caleb Douglas on the outside. That's a good team, bro. And then Rodriguez, of course. I mean, that dude's a beast. Like, I think Texas Tech, since they're on the same side of the bracket as Indiana, man, they're gonna have their hands full eventually with some of these good teams. Oregon's on their side of the bracket. Like, Oregon and Texas Tech are on their side of the bracket. And we saw what happened in Eugene. Like, Indiana, they came in there, they showed they belong. But those two teams can beat Indiana. On a good day, if Texas Tech and Oregon offensively can show up and put up points, I think those are the two best teams in that side of the bracket that could knock off Indiana. Do I think it's going to happen? No. But, like, if it had to be anybody, I would say it's those two.
I don't think Oregon's very good after I saw what Dante Moore couldn't do against Indiana's defense. I mean, it was rough. It was a rough game for him. I think he threw for like 130 yards, a pick, and a touchdown. It was rough. But I mean, Oregon, every other team, like if you look at Indiana and Ohio State's defense, like it's pretty much. I can't say Indiana is necessarily an NFL defense, but Ohio State literally has Matt Patricia. He is an NFL defensive coordinator. How are college quarterbacks going to beat him? I mean, it's just crazy.
Who do you guys
Well,
got?
I'm just say this. I was like, Indiana, man, they're gonna run into their problems, whoever their second round matchup is, because Oklahoma's defense is legit. Their offense isn't very good, but that defense is legit. Do I think Indiana wins against Oklahoma? Probably. Do I think it's 13-10 like we just saw? Absolutely. Absolutely. And another thing too is, let's not forget about good old Alabama over here still being in the playoffs. You can't let a team with that type of talent. Don't say our defense ain't good. Our defense has been playing. Has Ty Simpson been an absolute bum? Yes. But has the defense been really good? Also, yes. Defense been great. I think you put Austin Mack, Keelan Russell in there, we start seeing a little bit different results. I like Ty. I don't think Alabama's going to beat Oklahoma. Like, it is hard to beat a team for a second time, I'll say that. But the way the offense has been playing, I'm taking Oklahoma. But don't be surprised if Alabama gets hot, get a little bit of momentum going. Just saying.
And it's tough. And it's tough.
You don't want to get hot.
It's tough to beat a team twice, and that's a matchup that we're seeing the second matchup of the year between those two teams. Because I mean, Oklahoma won that game, but I mean it was close. Like that was a close game.
3 turnovers. Oklahoma had 124 like total yards of offense. They won that game because of a muff punt, a missed field goal, and 2 Ty Simpson turnovers. That's it. Like if those things don't happen, any one of those things doesn't happen.
And also Mateer hasn't been the same since he had that surgery either. I mean, he was talking about a guy at the beginning of the season who might have been a Heisman runner-up. That was one of those guys too. And then he gets hurt, and it's like, all right, like what are we thinking with Oklahoma? I don't know. That game's weird.
I think Bama wins.
That's both those teams.
I do think Bama wins.
Both those teams are like this to me. So like, if I had a coin right here, just go like this. Heads is Bama, tails is Oklahoma. There you go. I mean, it's really honestly, you give it like a 65-35% for Alabama just because it's the second matchup, but it's like all you have to do is not turn the ball over, like James said. I mean, you play simple football, you play good offensively. That's all you got to do.
All right, let's close this college football segment out with our picks. I gave my pick, Indiana, Ohio State title game. Indiana's winning it all.
Put Bama
what do you guys got?
Right there, yeah.
Put Bama in? All right, yeah, I will. Bama, Ohio State, just like 2014. I think if Alabama shows any sort of life against Oklahoma, they beat them. I think Alabama gets a little bit of momentum going. They got the offensive firepower to shut down what Ohio State couldn't do it, and credit to them. I think Alabama can, they have the similar offensive builds to where it's like they're going to try and air it out. So it'll be interesting to see if we can beat Indiana. But if Alabama beats Indiana, I think they go all the way at that point, like to the Natty.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's going to be Texas Tech, Indiana, and Texas Tech's defense is no joke. And that's going to be the tough one for me. Is like, I love Indiana. Texas Tech could catch them on the right jaw. It's gonna be close. But on the other side of the bracket, I feel like it has to be Ohio State. Their defense is just too good. So I will change it up. I don't want to do that though, because it's like, it's easy to pick the number 1 and the number 2. But I'll go Texas Tech, Ohio State, just because Jackson did Indiana, Ohio State, because I do think it'll be Indiana, Ohio State. I love Indiana. I want them to go. I want them to win it all. But I think it could go either way between them and Texas Tech.
I mean, it's fair. That's how I felt about Texas Tech too. But looking at the entire field, I think it's clear as day. Ohio State and Indiana are the 2 best teams.
Clearly,
so I don't see anyone beating them. I just don't. And when their offense is actually clicking, which at some point one of them is going to have a breakout offensive game, I just don't know how you beat them. Don't know. And even if they have a bad offensive game, they could still get stops on defense and give the offense a chance at the end of the game. And that game against Indiana, Ohio State is just like you're watching 2 teams that are in a class of their own. It's like none of these teams, like even Georgia, I mean, they're ranked 3rd, but like if Georgia plays Indiana or Ohio State, I don't know how Georgia does against those 2 teams. I don't.
I agree.
I was gonna say that. I was like, I know why I didn't show Georgia any love. I don't know why we're not getting any Georgia love from Georgia. Is a very, very good team. That defense played like their best football all season. Like they were taking advantage. Again, their offense kind of didn't. It looked bleak. It looked bleak offensively, but again, this is just a defensive year for college football.
Mm-hmm.
All these teams have really good defenses. It's like, but man, each one of these teams' offense can also put up stinker after stinker. So I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be a fun football playoff. I don't expect a lot of high scoring games. I don't. I think we're going to see a lot of 17-10 finishes.
I'm not going to discredit Bama's defense, but I don't think Georgia's offense is that good. I think Gunnar Stockton is going to run into a brick wall if he were to play Indiana or Ohio State if they do make the run.
I mean, Bama's defense shut him down a couple times, twice.
Yeah, I mean, they also. I don't know. I feel like it's like you have your top 4 teams and then there's the rest. No offense to everyone.
Yeah.
That's how it's been all year.
Yeah, it's been like that all year, bro. I'm excited to get into this one, bro. We're going to start NFL. We're going to go into some NFL talk real quick. I do have a soundbite from Phillip Rivers. He had his press conference today. He's with the Colts. You know, we'll see if he starts or not, but he's preparing like he's the starter. So let's hear from him real quick, and then we'll get some thoughts about, Phillip Rivers, 44 years of age, getting back into the NFL.
Got some good memories in Seattle. Some not so great. And I know how good that stinking team is and how well they're playing right now. So, me at 30 years old, me at 44 years old, going to Seattle and winning in 2025 in week 14 or whatever it is, it's going to be tough. There's been a lot of quarterbacks go in there and it's been tough. So,
all right, guys. So this news kind of just broke the internet, in my opinion. I mean, you got Phillip Rivers, who's eligible for the Hall of Fame the next year. He was actually in the class. I know it doesn't feel real.
It doesn't feel real at all.
He's gonna be the third oldest quarterback to start in a game.
He's a grandpa.
Yeah, he
like
is.
Mike, you're the Indiana guy, dude. I'm gonna let you take this one. What are you hearing?
All right, here's the thing. Everyone is zigging. He's gonna be terrible. He's gonna be this. He's 44 years old, and I'm gonna zag. Okay, if he gets the opportunity to start and first time in a facility for 4 days, I'm not saying he's gonna be Tom Brady, but he can still sling it. For a quarterback position, you don't need to be in perfect condition. You just have to be able to have a clean pocket, know how to step up, and know how to hit guys in stride. And if he's playing football, I don't know. I still think it's Phillip Dang Rivers, man. I mean, he's good.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be an absolute train wreck.
No
Mike,
way.
This reminds me so much of 2015. This reminds me so much of 2015 Peyton Manning, where it looks like it takes all his might to get that ball 10 to 12 yards. He's been coaching high school football in Athens, Alabama, 10 minutes where I'm from. So pretty familiar with Phillip Rivers and how he's doing over there. There's no way, dude. Come on.
I just feel like it can't be any worse than Riley Leonard. I'm sorry to Riley Leonard, but they need
exactly.
They need to get someone.
Well, I mean,
he's better than any quarterback they have. So,
Richardson?
Who else are you going to go get? There's no one. One at this point in the season, guys.
It doesn't look like it hurts Riley Leonard to throw the ball 15 yards. Do we really?
There's no one at. Okay, if the Colts.
Riley Leonard running back.
You're 8-5. You're 8-5. Trying to make a playoff push. You have 4 games left. You're not asking Phillip Rivers to play an 18-week season. You're asking him to play 4 games, and he already knows the offense.
He already
knows it.
44.
I get he's 44, but he's better than Riley Leonard.
He retired last year, like Brady did. What was a Brady
he hasn't played in 5
years.
Okay, he hasn't played in 5 years, but he's gonna be coming in fresh. I know he's gonna be a little bit heavy. No. He's not in game shape, but he's still Phillip Rivers, bro. You're telling me Tom Brady off the couch couldn't do something?
Tom Brady is not Tom Brady. I absolutely would call him, and I think he'd be serviceable. But in 2015, people were saying the same thing about Peyton Manning. It's Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning had way different injuries.
He got benched.
Way different injuries, though. I don't think it's the same. I think the Peyton Manning comparison is not not the same.
I think that like after Peyton won a Super Bowl, you saw that or before the year before he won a Super Bowl, he was still good. And then all of a sudden we saw the regression come in and he was bad. Like he was really bad. Mm-hmm. People forget how bad he was during that 2015 regular season. Like he was awful. I think it's going to be like credit to Phillip Rivers I really want him to prove me wrong because I also think that would be really funny. But I think it's going to be a train wreck. I do.
I think the better comparison, if you're talking about a guy coming off the couch, is Joe Flacco when he went to play for the Browns. And he wasn't playing football. Obviously, he wasn't playing for 5 years like Phillip Rivers, but it's like it doesn't just go away. It doesn't just go away. He's still been coaching. He still knows the game very well. His mind is still very much there. It's just, hey, can you pick up a blitz? Can you dump it off? Like I feel like the slander is like, okay, Phillip Rivers isn't going to do anything. If he wins 2 games, he's in the playoffs. Now, granted, it's probably the most difficult schedule of all time. I mean, you play Seattle, San Fran, Jacksonville, Houston. I don't know if you win one of those games, but if you manage to beat Jacksonville, Jacksonville and Kansas City self-implodes and there's like 6-6 teams behind him in the playoffs, it would be hard for the Colts to lose and get out of the playoffs with how good their record is. So they win 1 and 2 games, they're guaranteed to clinch the 7th spot. However, you're going to have to play New England or Denver in round 1. And that's where the Joe Flacco era, you're done. You're going to get in, you're going to win a couple games, you're done. You're not beating those teams. I would think your better hope is to play New England because their defense isn't as great as Denver. But again, you don't want to play Bo Nix or Drake May. So it's like they'll probably sneak in because there's nobody else in the AFC. But it's like, can he get up to speed in 4 weeks? Can he get to throw with new players? The one thing I will say, J.J. Watt, insider, hey, let's say the Colts offense is basically the same as the offense that Phillip Rivers ran. And he knows the coaching staff very well. That's the only reason to why I'm optimistic for the season, right? 14 of the players that he played with in 2020, they're still there in the facility. You got Quentin Nelson, Jonathan Taylor, all the guys that, the coaching staff, not the same, but the training is the physical trainers are saying, like, that's what he was saying when he got there. So it felt like something that he was back there already in 2020, and that's kind of why he said it was no brainer.
No, and that's what I'm saying. Like I was trying to say that I think the familiarity, like this is not just like, any normal situation. If you go and pick up a guy and you have to teach him a whole new offense, this would be a completely different conversation. But since you really don't have to teach him a completely new offense, all you have to get him up to speed on is some of the new play variations that they probably have in the last 5 years, because the playbook is probably very similar, the foundation of it, but you change a little bit.
The offensive line's really good too. Like that's
my thing. And
like,
Phillip Rivers is a guy who's always been a pocket passer. He's never been running away. So if he gets hit, that's fine. I just wonder how many hits can he really take until it gets to the point where, okay, you're 44 years old. But like also, like I think it does help him that he did have that gap of not playing football and he is healthy. Like Phillip Rivers isn't coming in hurt. He didn't just play for another team. He didn't just have a broken collarbone last year by a freak accident. I mean, this is a guy who's completely healthy, and his system in his high school is very similar to the Colts. They run plays that way. So he's actually been putting it into practice mentally.
I got one more thing, but with how good the Colts offensive line is, you look at the Broncos, a really good team on the pass rush. You look at the Texans, a really good team on the pass rush. Could you guys guess? They played both of them once so far this season. How many sacks combined do those two teams have against the Colts? 2. These offensive line is no joke. And I know Phillip Rivers is 44. How many hits can he take? If he could get the ball out in 3, 4, 5 seconds and not take any, you know what I mean? It's like he's definitely going to take some licks, but it's like I think he'll be okay. And it's just a matter of can he hit the guys in open stride? And maybe he's better than 2021 Joe Flacco or whatever year, that was the playoff run.
Yeah. And we're not saying Phillip Rivers is going to go and win a Super Bowl, but like, can he get him to the playoffs? I think it's possible.
It's just going to be too hard with those defenses. Those
defenses
I agree,
are too good. Like I agree.
I want to root for, the revenge story because nobody saw this coming, right? Like if Phillip Rivers goes on a Super Bowl run and wins the Super Bowl, that'll be the single greatest NFL moment, better than Kurt Warner coming out of freaking,
right.
In arena football. So,
yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I think it'll be interesting to see how it unfolds though, because you mentioned Jacksonville. Yeah, they're tough. They're tough, and they've kind of been playing them well. So let's go ahead and look at the playoff race right now, because it's just, I mean, I can't think of a year where there's been so much parity in the NFL. I mean, all year long, I feel like it's just been so different on like, who's the favorite to come out of the NFC? Who's the favorite to come out of the AFC? Are the AFC teams legit? Like, I feel like the top 2 seeds in the AFC, everyone's been talking about, well, the Broncos until last week were trailing in every single game this year. So, and then you got the Patriots, their strength of schedule. What do you think about the top seeds right now in both respective conferences, and who has the best chance to make a run actually and legitimately win?
You got it.
Man, well, I mean, I think it's got to be the Green Bay Packers right now.
Oh
We're
my
right in the
gosh,
middle. We're right in the middle of Toyota. We're right in the middle of Toyota-thon, guys. Jordan Love is playing the best football he's playing. Micah Parsons, not named Myles Garrett, has been the best edge rusher in football this year. I think, seriously, they have a legitimate shot of going on a run and figuring this thing out. Jordan Love said they were this close after the Panthers game. They said they were this close to figuring things out. It kind of looks like they are. We were hearing about the Bears. In Green Bay, what do they always do? They owned them. They beat them. Absolutely. They crushed them in the first half. Caleb Williams looked like a bum.
Packers Super Bowl.
Really good. Packers Texans Super Bowl?
No. That was the Packers Super Bowl, was beating the Bears.
Oh, that was our Super Bowl? Well, we got them again.
But also, I think you got to give the Bears a little credit.
Super Bowls in 1 year.
You got to give the Bears some credit, though. I don't think they're going to be legit when it comes playoff-wise. I think they're probably going to get beat in the first round, personally, because I just don't think they're experienced enough. But, yeah, I do agree. I think Green Bay is definitely one of those teams. I mean, their defense, I think the only problem is I think the last 3 games Jordan Love's been playing some of the best football. But before that, absolutely not. I mean, he didn't throw for 100 yards for like a 3-game stretch. So I think recently he's starting to get back in there. But that's the one thing with Jordan Love. How consistent can he be? We've seen him light up defenses, but we've also seen him disappear and be a ghost. But I think it helps when he has Christian Watson and Jaden Reed back. I think that definitely sets him apart. But having Tucker Kraft not in the lineup, I think just hurts the Packers so much, because that was Jordan Love's guy for a majority of the season. Now he's gone.
He was on pace to break every Packers tight end record. Like he was going to have 1,000 yards this year. He's going to have double-digit touchdowns. Like he was our number 1 receiving threat, and like it just sucked. And I think that's why you saw those stretches where the offense was bad, where it's like we lost Jaden Reed, Christian Watson was still working his way back, and you lose Tucker Kraft. It's like, man, it's like that offense was taking some blows. But I think now they're getting healthy. Obviously, you won't have Tucker Kraft the rest of the year, but Jaden Reed came back. Christian Watson looks like an absolute freak of nature right now. Romeo Doubs has had the best year of his pro. Dontavion Wicks just showed up on Thanksgiving. They still got the first-round pick in Matthew Golden, who ran a 4.2 last year. That's
what I was going to ask.
They got weapons.
That's what I was going to ask. With Tucker Kraft gone, Christian Watson's stepping up, but like, what was the point of drafting Matthew Golden if you're only going to target him once a game? I'm just really frustrated by that. I don't know what the heck they're doing.
I'm frustrated by it too, but it's the Green Bay Packers way. I mean, if you look at every rookie receiver Green Bay has had over the last few years, like compared to Randall Cobb, compared to Jordy Nelson, compared to Devontae Adams' first years, like he's already had more yards than they have. And it's like, he'll get involved. But here's the thing. It's Romeo Doubs' last year under contract. So Romeo Doubs is probably gone. It's the same thing with Dontavion Wicks. They're both under last year of their contract. I think the Green Bay Packers' dream 3 is Watson, Reed, Golden. Like that, like once that's their 3 with Jacobs and Tucker Kraft, like that's a great offense.
I think Wicks and Doubs are replaceable. But I don't think a guy like Watson recently, I mean, he's been just so explosive. You can't really find a lot of players like that. And it's what he's doing after the catch. Because I've always liked Christian Watson. I always think he can be, the primary receiver on the Packers. Now he's starting to he's had his games where he kind of but I mean, ACL injuries, he's had so many of those. You got to take that into account. Like this guy has come back from ACL to ACL and he's still good.
22 miles an hour. He just hit 22 miles an hour coming off an ACL tear. Like he's a
2 touchdowns against a Bears defense that is good. This Bears defense is a good defense. They are.
It's a solid defense. They have a really good run game. And I'll tell you what, Caleb Williams, I gotta give him a lot of credit. In that second half, he stepped up. He stepped up big time. He was making incredible throws.
Dude, that throw on the run he had to Kmet was insane. That was he had like 2 throws where I was like, this dude's elite, bro. Like that one touchdown he had where it literally went through the Packers defender's hands. I'm like, how? Like that, there's like no other person that can make that throw in that particular moment right now. That is crazy.
No, Caleb Williams looked awesome. And I'll tell you what, in that first half, I was definitely getting my laughs off of Caleb Williams because that offense had like -4 passing, negative 4 yards. Like it looked bad. But then they came back and they fixed it up. And so I give him a lot of credit for that. I give Caleb Williams a lot of credit for that. But Jordan Love, man, he's been playing. He's awesome. He's easily the best quarterback in that division right now.
Yeah, I feel like this division's so wide open. Still,
looking at the North, it's like I think, it's going to come down to that next matchup with Chicago, right? If Chicago can split with Green Bay, the division's definitely open. If they could sweep Chicago, they're winning that division, obviously. Yeah. I think it's going to come down to the 7th spot is going to come down to Chicago and Detroit, because Detroit still plays Chicago once more at the end of the season, but the Lions have such a tough schedule in terms of they play the Rams this week. So it's like, I'm not doubting that they could beat them, but it's like
that's the game this week. That's the one this week. If the Lions beat the Rams.
And you also at 425, you got Denver and Green Bay. So it's like that could be a Super Bowl match. That could be a Super Bowl preview.
That is a good one.
I think the Packers defense is the only thing that's keeping them alive in the Super Bowl conversation. Yes, we can say offense this, offense that. I am not going to agree with Jackson to say that the Bears are a good defense because statistically they are a bottom 5 total defense. Yes, they may have the most turnovers.
But also they've had a lot of injuries and they've been able to rebuild that defense throughout the year. So I think for them to be able to and
holding
Green Bay to 28 is not bad.
Turnovers is where it comes in.
Right. Yeah. What Jordan Love had he had a couple I think he had one pick or two. One pick. But it was a great play by the DB. I mean, they have guys that can make plays and they have a decent pass rush. So, it's not terrible.
No, I'm not saying it's awful, but it's definitely not a defense that I would trust to be top 10 in the league to be like, okay, can you help this team go on a run? I feel like the Bears are solid enough to where, hey, you turned your season around, you got a good head coach, you got a good franchise quarterback, but he's also still figuring it out in the NFL. No doubt the Caleb Williams, he's playing great second year, but you can't miss that 4th and 1 to DJ Moore. Wide open. And he goes for the shot in the end zone. I respect the shot, but it's like
he should have
take what you can get.
He should have ran on that play.
Ran it. There was 4 Packers in there.
I don't know if he should have ran it.
He had a better chance. He had a better chance leaping than.
Are you watching the same play we are? There was about 4 Packers defensive linemen in the area of Caleb Williams.
Do you not know how fast Caleb Williams can be on the edge when he really takes off?
He was a good 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
And you're telling me he was looking to throw the ball. That's why he was behind. He wasn't looking to run. If he was looking to run earlier, I think he could have honestly gotten it.
Can we get a screenshot on the screen?
I thought it was some.
I'll put a screenshot up on the screen.
If
I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I think, in my vantage point, watching the game, I think Caleb totally could have decided to run earlier and could have totally.
Am I watching the same play as he is? DJ Moore sprinting across the line. Right?
I think Cole Kmet was 100% the right play because when you listen to Matt LaFleur's press conference, Keyshawn Nixon was supposed to be on DJ Moore. But so on the initial look Caleb Williams had, he's like, all right, if that's man coverage, Cole Kmet is Kmet's about to be wide open. And so it was just a really good play by Keyshawn Nixon to come off of DJ Moore and jump up and make an acrobatic play. So I think you can say DJ Moore was open, but when you're watching that play, like when DJ Moore becomes open, Caleb Williams already under pressure and he needs to throw it off his back foot. I think that's the right move. I didn't like the play call, the way they had been running the ball so much. I literally thought if you ran a read option right there, like you probably get that yard.
Yeah, you've got Monungai, and Monungai's a beast.
With what he was given, I didn't hate the decision. I mean, I'm a Packers fan. I love the decision, but I just think it was it was a better play by Keyshawn Nixon than it was anything else.
I feel like, I don't know. I mean, I do agree with the fact that there was a defender on him and that it would have been definitely difficult to get around him to where DJ Moore was positioned. I still feel like he could have floated it up because there was nobody near him. I don't think so. I don't disagree with that. Kmet is the read because he was open. But Caleb's got to make a better throw. It was a little underthrown, like get it over the back of the end zone, give your player a shot. He kind of just underthrew him.
It's also a tough throw. I mean, he's throwing it cross body, trying to lob it up.
Again,
it's a tough play.
We've seen Caleb make these throws. So again, he also made the best throw ever on the touchdown throw to Olawale. I can't say his name. Zacchaeus.
Zacchaeus?
Illuminate. I don't know
Zacchaeus.
how to say his first name. Anyway,
Dude,
um,
I think
when
it's
he made that
Olamide
throw, that's
how
when
did
I
he
was.
fit that
I
ball?
literally
Like,
said, I was
I'll give
damn.
Caleb some praise.
Olamide
I mean,
Zacchaeus.
he wasn't open. He wasn't open.
No, he
I
was
mean,
not.
he just spun it in there, and it was
Like when
couldn't-
he
you
made
couldn't
that
play better
throw,
defense.
I literally said, I was like, damn,
like
he's
1 inch of
going
separation.
to be a problem. Like Caleb Williams is going to be a problem in the NFC.
I just
for
think he's
years
trying to
come.
do too
He's
much
good.
with his legs.
I see it. But
I don't
the
like
flashes.
yeah.
But you see the flashes. The flashes that he's showing are
He's there. It's
Once he becomes consistent,
more accurate.
watch.
Like
It's the
that'll.
same thing with Jordan Love. Like once
Yep.
Jordan Love becomes consistent, watch out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm always somebody
I think
that
it's
comes
the
down
Bears Packers
to the
NFC.
fundamentals.
I think it's the Bears Packers NFC North for the next 5 years. I think Detroit missed their window, and JJ McCarthy is the worst quarterback in football. So I don't care about I do not care about the Washington stuff. It's the Washington defense. I'm happy you fed your weapons against that team, because with your weapons, you shouldn't look as bad as you do. But JJ McCarthy is really bad. The Lions missed their window. I think this is I think this is Green Bay's Chicago Super Bowl window right now. Next 4 years.
I agree. I mean, here, you look at the Lions. Is Jared Goff going to give you the best opportunity to win a Super Bowl? No. I mean, it's just not going to happen. Like, you look at the Eagles game. I mean, he couldn't do anything. He couldn't do anything.
And
he was under pressure.
And the Eagles defense isn't even that.
Jared Goff,
even that good.
His
like,
stats,
it's really not.
His stats
really
under
not.
pressure aren't
They have
bad.
not been the same. They have not been the same as they were last year.
Well,
Everyone knows
they were
the Eagles.
They were the number one defense last year. They're not going to live
but
up
like
to those expectations.
they've taken
The
a
Eagles
drop, and I've
defense
seen
is
it.
the Eagles defense is like the best defense in the NFC.
It looks really good. I'm not going to listen.
The way they can just dominate the line of scrimmage. Their secondary has questions, but the way the Eagles
that's why I don't like the Eagles defense, is because of their secondary. Their pass rush great. They get pressure, which forces quarterbacks to get rid of the ball faster, which I think does help them, and it really does just kind of blanket those weaknesses that the secondary does have, because they do have a lot of holes in that secondary. But I mean, yeah, I agree with you, but I just think for some reason I don't trust the Eagles offense. I don't trust the Eagles offense. They're super inconsistent, and Jalen Hurts, he does not give guys the ability to catch the ball and make something happen after the catch. He's just throwing it right there. If they catch it, they're not going anywhere else. Name a time where A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith have had many chances during a game to just take off and run and have space. It just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen this year. I don't know why, but
it's a very vanilla offense.
It's boring. It's boring. It's been boring all year. And Jalen Hurts
I'm quite frankly surprised Kevin Patullo still has a job. This is the 2023 Eagles at its finest. Brian Johnson had a job somehow.
It literally feels like the exact same.
When you have a guy of the name of Shane Steichen, who now is the head coach, and you had a guy, Kellen Moore, lead you to a Super Bowl, it's a matter of time to say, hey, why does Nick Sirianni still have a job when he's getting carried?
What does he do? What does he do? What does he do?
He is supposed to be an offensive
locker room guy.
What is all? Manages personalities. That's all Sirianni does.
He's supposed to be an offensive mind, and then he says before the bye, "We're gonna get right this week. We're gonna make some changes." And then the guy asks him, "Hey, you gonna think about making a change at play calling?" No, we're fine at play calling. And then you get your stupid stuff washed by the freaking Chargers. That was embarrassing for a
I loved that game. That was a fun game to watch for me.
Because
Jalen Hurts threw an interception and lost a fumble.
The only thing they have going for them is their defense. That's it. It's the only thing they have going for them is their defense. This team's going to get wiped out in the first round. As for the Bears, they remind me of the Vikings last year. Again, they're going to do well in the regular season. They're not a team that's going to go far in the postseason. They've won so many games by one score. It's not happening.
I don't think the Vikings were better than the Bears are this year, though. Like, the Vikings were way better last year.
That Vikings team was fraudulent.
They were,
we saw them,
but they won 14 games. Like, they were one of the best teams in the league.
They were a good team, but like they had a lot of luck.
A lot of flaws
to go their way. Like, realistically, that Vikings team last year was an 11-12 win team, but they just got lucky.
No, they definitely overachieved.
Games.
They overachieved for sure.
Like, that Lions team deserved to be 15-2. They were really good. They had the best offense in football. It's just a shame their defense got shredded.
Yeah, I don't.
All right,
there's another division I want to talk about, though. like real quick, that I don't think a lot of people are giving a lot of light to right now. I know it's not the most exciting division, but the NFC South,
It better be the South.
It's a two-way, it's a two-man race between the Panthers and the Bucks right now. That I just don't know what to think of any of those teams because the Bucks lost to the Saints, but then the Panthers can beat the Rams, but then they look terrible against the 49ers, can barely move the ball in that game. So it's like, are any of these teams? Granted, I know the Bucks are injured. They're trying to get guys back. McMillan and Mike Evans are trying to get back, but it's like what do we think? I don't even know what to think about.
Whoever wins that division is getting first rounded. It's not that hard. Whoever wins the division is done.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
like,
not that interesting.
Who the 5 seed's gonna be like one of like
Philly,
the Rams.
Well, not Philly. Sorry.
It could
Rams,
be though
if
if Seattle can win the West, which is still very possible. The Niners can still win the West. That division's still open as well. I mean, you've got the Niners at 9-4, and then Rams and Seahawks at 10-3. And the Rams and Seahawks, they still play this year. So we're going to see some movement, I think, in that division. Do I think the Rams are better than both of those teams? Yes, I think they are. But they lost to the Panthers. Like, you have weeks like that where it's like, like,
well, it's going to be close. Those weeks just kind of happen. I think you look overall as a whole, the Rams have probably been the most consistent team in the NFC. You just trust Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay to go win a Super Bowl because we've seen them go win a Super Bowl. And as of this moment, I don't trust Jalen Hurts to win a Super Bowl. And there's no other NFC quarterback that has won a Super Bowl. So it's like the Rams are just the obvious option. So I think that's the argument that you have with the Rams.
Yeah, you look at, I think the NFC, like for years it was like, hey, the AFC is so much more dominant than the NFC. I think it's flipped.
Yeah, this year for sure.
AFC is, I mean, I wouldn't say it's weak, but the problem with the AFC is there's not depth. Like you look at the NFC, how many teams are there that are what, 10, 9?
There's like
teams?
10 teams, and we could have one division. I'm surprised teams in the playoffs have 11 wins. That's possible. I mean, in the NFC, that is potential. I mean, that's never happened.
We could call this bias, but I feel like I'm surprised people aren't talking about the AFC South. Yeah, Philip Rivers, Danny Jones,
that's a fun division. Definitely.
But when Jones was healthy, it's like I'm like, who's going to win the division? Even as a Texans fan, I'm like, we're on the rise, winning 5 in a row. Jacksonville, they've been not only inconsistent, but Trevor Lawrence has been bad. Now he's great. He looks really good, consistent.
It also helps that the Jaguars have the number one rushing defense in the league. No one can run the ball on Jacksonville. I mean, that is the hardest team to run the ball against. Right now, that's really helping them a lot. But it's crazy because Lawrence, like, he's completing below 60% of his passes still. And he's like, where are we going to see that accuracy? It just hasn't been there. Now, granted, they're still 9-4, but it's like, I just don't know about their offense, man. I don't know. Still a lot of questions.
Mike, how do you feel about CJ Stroud right now? Because Davis Mills came in and looked decent with that Texans offense.
Yep.
And CJ Stroud, would you give him a second contract?
That's tough. I mean, he's getting paid. He's getting paid, regardless. But the Texans offense is rough. And I'll give them the benefit of the doubt because they've had a new coordinator, but it's like, we're in week 15. Like, guys, come on. And Nick Caley's not doing a good job calling plays, but like a lot of that falls on CJ Stroud because it's like, hey man, like hit your guys. And Stroud's not been playing good, but it's like the Chiefs would have won that game if they weren't just moronic and went for it on 4th and 1. The Texans offense wouldn't have scored another point in the second half if you didn't give them free drives of 30 yards for a touchdown. Like the Texans offense needs to figure it out. I guess to answer the question, I would say he's not a franchise quarterback. He is a guy that is he's a game manager. He can make the throws on 3rd and 7. He can get you a first down. Can he lead you to a game-winning drive? Yes, on certain days. No, on certain days. He has to play more consistent football. And if the Texans can figure out their offense before the final 4 weeks of the season, they can be contenders. But at this point in time, I have no confidence in the offense. You can have the greatest defense of all time. Defense wins championships. I do not care if the offense is not there. I mean, you could have Philip Rivers in at quarterback. I really don't think you'd have much of a different result. No offense.
Yeah, I think, I agree. I've been waiting on the Texans to just take that leap offensively. and they just have it. I mean, they have the talent.
Every game I scream at my TV and I say, let me call the plays because this is ridiculous. I mean, let CJ Stroud throw the ball. They're like in the second half of not the Chiefs game, but the game before, you're running. Like I was at the Colts game. I went to the Colts game. Awesome game. You are like first drive of the second half. Let's just run sustained drives. Let's run it twice. Let's run a bootleg and let's get 4 yards for a first down. No. Go score, make a statement, go up by 10 and be like, boom. All right, we're good. We're not Madden. Don't just chew clock. Hurry up, offense, kick down the damn field, score touchdown. Ridiculous, man.
That game shouldn't have been as close.
How infuriating it is, dude. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing of an offense. I'm surprised they're not 28th in the league. Like I can go on all day.
And they're running the ball like 26 times with Woody Marks. Like, I mean, that's insane. And Woody Marks only ran for like 83 yards. I mean, he didn't even break 100 yards, and he gets 26 carries.
And it's a carousel at wide receiver. You have a combination of 3 different wide receivers in the slot.
You got Jaden Higgins, and then you've got a bunch of other rookies. Hutchinson's in there.
Has solidified himself. But you have Hutchinson, Kirk, and Barrios hasn't played. But no, Jalen Noel needs to be on the field more. Guy's shifty. He can move. I so infuriating, man. I can't get enough of it. Like, they can very well be Super Bowl contenders. Not with that offense. Figure it out.
But that defense, you're right. I mean, that's one of the best defenses I've ever seen. I mean, they're putting up like, I mean, that one interception, like that Petrie made in the Chiefs game. Oh my gosh. I mean, that might have been, dude, they are physical. They hit, they can pass rush. They have the best secondary. I mean, dude, this defense, nothing to match. That's what I'm saying. If the offense can figure it out, dude, I agree. They definitely are Super Bowl contenders. And you could argue they still could be with how good their defense is playing right now.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I don't like is how, like, after the Bills game, everyone's like, oh, this Texans defense is so good. After week 2, I could figure it out. Hey, if you could hold the Buccaneers to 19 points when Baker's healthy, because Baker's clearly not healthy right now. He's playing hurt. And that's why the Bucs aren't going to do anything. But it's like, man, this defense is the real deal. They've been the real deal all year. And I think they're better than the Broncos. A lot of people are like, oh, yeah, the Broncos are better. Starting to change the narrative now with how you hold the Chiefs to 10 points. I know they haven't been good, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, the Chiefs.
What's the most fraudulent team in the league right now?
That's like
Broncos
in the playoffs?
Yeah, in the playoffs right now. I mean, who's like that upset that's gonna get first round?
Are the Colts still in the playoffs?
Not right now, no.
I mean, technically they're 7.
No, you guys have it.
But
you guys have the
that doesn't count.
The Texans are
7 seeds of fraud. You know, it's gonna sound biased, but like it is the Bears. Like they're not gonna win a playoff game.
Oh, Buffalo.
But I think
I agree.
Yeah, Buffalo.
Buffalo's defense
I
just
think
doesn't. They don't do it for me. Like you're asking Josh Allen to do way too much, and at some point, Josh Allen's going to make a mistake.
Allen's receivers don't do it for me.
Who is he throwing the ball to?
I got.
I mean,
seriously, I got four fraudulent teams in the AFC for you. Pittsburgh,
all of them.
Oh yeah, I can't
LA,
believe I forgot them.
The Chargers are done. I think the Broncos. I think
the Chargers are still good. That defense is
that offensive line is bad. That offensive line is bad.
But like the Chargers are not a bad team.
And another team I was gonna say was the Eagles. I mean, if you're beating the Eagles by 3 points in overtime, that's not a good win. It's not.
I don't think the Eagles lost to the Cowboys.
Fraudulent, but we all know that. We all know that. We all know
so
Philly's
it's like, what kind of a win is that? You know, like they got beat up by the Chargers. They're not. I actually think, quite frankly, if the Chargers are going to continue to play like that, they might get bumped out by Kansas City. Like, listen to the Chargers' schedule the rest of the season. They're 9-4 right now. Can they win 1 to 2 games and get out of the playoffs? At KC is their next game. That'll decide a lot of things.
Yes.
Then you play Dallas, Houston, Denver. I don't know if they win another game.
They could definitely beat.
I think the Chargers can beat Kansas City and Dallas. The Denver and Houston game gets tricky, but
my thing is they already beat Denver.
Can win. I think the Chargers get it. I don't like which teams do we trust right now to win the Super Bowl? Because to me, it's like you got like 4. Like that's really not a lot out of the AFC. Like it's like
the Rams, the Rams are in there.
Seattle.
I mean,
if the Chiefs sneak in, do you trust Patrick Mahomes to go on a run?
No,
Kinda.
no.
I think the Chiefs
do.
are gonna miss the playoffs. I think they're not gonna get in.
I
No
feel
way.
like this Chargers game this week is going to decide everything. And the thing is with the Chargers, like obviously you look at those division games, you're like, yeah, they should win. The Chiefs game, they beat them week one. Remember, like that was the game in Brazil, and now they have to play at Arrowhead, which I think is stupid how they give them a home game in Brazil. But the point is, I don't think they're gonna sweep the Chiefs and the Broncos. Like that's gonna be crazy to me. So it's like maybe they beat the Cowboys. Is that enough to get in? Maybe. So it's like I don't know. There's a lot of teams that's like I like what James said. I don't even know. Who do you trust this year? I think the Rams are by far the best team, but again, they have some bad losses to the freaking Panthers. I like the Panthers.
But the AFC is really weak this year because it's like, man, it's
wide open, and that's why how
are the Ravens still alive with how bad they've been?
Bengals are still alive.
Pittsburgh doesn't look good.
They're probably a long
all.
shot.
Kansas City doesn't look good.
If the Bengals
everyone kind of knows Bo Nix is limited on offense. The Colts just lost their quarterback. That's like all the good AFC teams I just listed. What other teams are in here?
I think maybe
the Jags.
The only team you can talk about is maybe New England.
Yeah.
New England is probably the one team that I think has the most potential, but it's just you don't really know because they haven't really played anybody. I mean, they beat Buffalo.
They remind me of that Bengals team a few years ago where you got a quarterback, you get in, you go to Super Bowl.
But they also have a good defense. They have a good run game. Their receivers aren't terrible. I mean, Diggs has kind of had a better year than expected, I think, for most people. And then Hunter Henry's still really good. But Drake Maye right now, to me, is the difference maker. I think they're the best team in the AFC right now. I know they're scared, but they play Buffalo this week. So imagine the Patriots sweep Buffalo. That's a statement right there. Regardless of what you think about, the Patriots' resume over the course of this season, beating Buffalo twice cannot get overlooked. And you already beat them once at Buffalo.
I don't think
Drake Maye didn't even have Drake Maye probably had his worst game in that game.
I don't think they're going to sweep Buffalo, but it's very possible.
They could.
It's very possible. Yeah, I'm not going to say it's impossible. I mean, I would just give it like a 60-40 Buffalo.
I mean, you're telling me right now that New England doesn't score at least 20 points on Buffalo's defense this week?
You're telling me
I think they do it easily. Dude, no, I don't think so. No.
I mean, New England's pass defense is not that good. It's not.
Yeah, but New England's rush defense is good.
Yeah, it's probably the best.
That's where Buffalo
James Cook
I think that's why New England matches up well with Buffalo. That's why New England matches up well with Buffalo.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to hear everyone's AFC and NFC championship predictions, and then we can get in the Super Bowls because that's interesting. Because I got a good one.
Oh my gosh. Let me think.
I want Houston and Denver, or Houston and New England. I think whoever can get out of the AFC alive, I don't know what team it is considering the bracket. Call me biased all you want. If the Texans can go to the championship and play New England or Denver, I think that'd be a great game.
See, I don't think Houston survives the wild card round, so I don't know. Well,
okay. Let's play it out. Okay, right now as it sits, Houston's in at number 7. Yeah. Let's do this. All right, let's do it. All right.
Do it. No. Let's talk this out. This out for sure.
New England plays Houston right now in the divisional round or in the wild card round.
Okay. New England wins that.
That's a weird game.
That's a good
New
game.
England wins.
I'm not going to comment. You guys got it.
You're not going to. You have Houston.
That game
right now, Mike.
You're
telling me right now, Mike. You're taking the Houston Texans as we stand against the New England Patriots in Gillette in the playoffs.
Anything's possible.
That's why I want the Patriots to win
possible.
the freaking bye.
I mean, that defense is so good. If they didn't have that defense, that wouldn't even be a conversation. It'd be like, yep,
Denver,
Patriots are winning.
You can upset Denver. I don't think you make it past the divisional round, but you can upset Denver. But I think you run into New England. I think you lose to New England. And I think New England is in the AFC Championship. And I think, man, it's like...
That's what I'm saying. The AFC is like a... What
Jacksonville,
do we think?
Buffalo... Jacksonville, Buffalo.
You probably give me New England, Buffalo. Probably give me New England, Buffalo. Just because if Buffalo's the 5 seed, they're taking on Baltimore or Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they're winning.
So they probably win that game, and then they're taking on
Jacksonville or Oh my gosh, they played Jacksonville, the Chargers. Jacksonville could win against Buffalo, but
Yeah, and so then it's like, give me New England Buffalo in the AFC Championship,
dude,
and then
if it was Jacksonville, New England,
I do think Green Bay has a possibility of getting the bye here. So, like, if in my scenario for us to make the NFC Championship, I think we get the bye, we play whoever the 7 seed is. Dear God, give me Chicago again or Detroit, and then we probably beat them, and then we take on the Rams.
you think you beat the Broncos this week?
Yeah, I do. I think our offense is clicking at the right time. I think we're going to be able to put up points, and I think our defense is way better than Denver's offense. I think
you have to win out to get the bye. I think you have to win out to get the bye, and you're either going to split.
Not necessarily.
No, you
Not
don't.
necessarily.
No, you don't, because the Rams the Rams could lose a game easily.
The Rams got a couple tough games coming up.
Well, then you have to look at Seattle too. But Seattle's.
Well, then you do have to look. You do have to look at Seattle. You do have to look at Seattle. I think Green Bay can lose one game. I think Green Bay can lose one game and get the bye. And I think that one game is either Denver or Chicago. I think we beat Baltimore. I think we beat Baltimore. I think we definitely beat the Vikings, especially if the bye week's in contention. So it's like you can beat Denver this week. You can probably drop that Chicago game, win out. There's the division. You'll have tiebreakers. So there's the division.
My concern is the tie.
I think the tie helps us though, because it gives us one less loss. Yeah, it gives us one less loss. So it's just, I think if we're sitting at 12 wins, we're 12-4-1, and if everyone else is 12-5.
Well, that's the thing. If you guys lose one, I think I'm giving one to the Rams as well, and that's where they're up that one game to where it's like I don't. Let's look at the Rams schedule.
The Rams play the Lions. They're at Seattle, and then they got the Falcons and Cardinals. They're winning their last 2 games. I think it's just
so it's the same thing. It is the same thing.
Yeah, I mean it's whoever.
Yeah, so Green Bay probably does need to win it. Green Bay probably does need to win out to get that.
Both teams got to win out if they want the division. It's like one game, so it's like at Seattle they might drop that one. At Chicago the Packers might drop that one. It's a matter of if they could beat the Broncos and if the Rams can beat the Lions this week. So.
I think the 49ers could still make some noise.
I think they're a dark horse.
I think they could definitely win. The 49ers could definitely win out and potentially get a high seed. Because they play the Titans, Colts, Bears, and they're at Seattle.
I gotta play fucking 49ers, dude.
But
I gotta play the 49ers again, dude. I'm gonna crash out.
Done.
We're the 2 seed, they're the 7 seed.
Done.
I think the 49ers are one of those teams.
Son of a bitch.
You're done if you play.
It's the same story. You'd make the playoffs, beat the Cowboys, lose to the 49ers. That was my life. That was my life growing up. That's how. Sorry, Jackson. That's just how it was.
Chance for that division. I mean, that'd be crazy.
The Cowboys right now can still win the division.
They can.
They're only a game and a half back, and their schedule is pretty soft. They play the Vikings this week.
The Eagles play.
Who did the Eagles play?
Here we go.
I think I have it up.
Oh my gosh, you're not winning. They play the Raiders, the Commanders twice, and
their schedule's not good either. That's why I don't think we're gonna make the playoffs. The Cowboys are not gonna make the playoffs.
I think, dude, low key, I think they beat the Raiders, split with Washington, and beat Buffalo.
If they split with Washington,
they're not. If they split with Washington, that's just gonna be a choke job.
If they split Washington, Dallas,
Washington.
We're watching the same Philly. We're watching the same Philly.
Washington is not. Washington and Philly. I think Philly will find out a way to win those 2
They
games.
have a rivalry.
They have to.
Though.
They have to, though.
Rivalry.
They have to figure it out, because if they drop one of those 2 games, we all know Dallas has to win out. Dallas has to win out to make the playoffs, and it's a long shot to make the playoffs, in my opinion, still. But the Eagles can. I'd love for an Eagles split with the Commanders. I think that'd be great. I think it'd be great. But it's probably not going to happen. But hey, it's a divisional game, so you never know.
Problem is the Eagles have to lose 2 games. And you lose to Buffalo.
That's why I'm so pissed about the Cowboys not beating the Lions last week. Because if the Cowboys beat the Lions, then they would have had a way better chance of making the playoffs. Because right now we'd only be a half game back instead of 1.5 games. So that would be the difference in the world right there. And the Cowboys can easily win out.
The Packers, and
all we have to do is beat the Chargers. That is the toughest game on the Cowboys schedule right now.
Shut up, Mike.
That's it. That's it.
Beat the Packers. That don't happen. I mean, you're in.
Listen. That game was some bullshit, low-key, because George Pickens was doing some superhuman type stuff, and I was literally sitting there. I was like, "How is he catching?" I'm like, "There's no other day he catches this. Any other Sunday he doesn't catch this, but he caught it this night, and it was just."
I've got a lot to say about George Pickens.
Their defense.
I'm not, dude. Don't even get me started with
He's
this.
amazing.
So bad.
Don't
even do it. Okay, fine. You know what? That's the next topic on the rundown. So I guess
let's go.
We'll talk about the Cowboys. We have not talked about them this whole
Fire
podcast.
Eberflus or cut Patrick Queen.
Oh gosh,
I'm not Patrick Queen. What's the linebacker? Help me out.
Yeah, Patrick Queen's not on our team. Which linebacker?
Help me out, you
about?
idiots. Think about the Chargers. I'm thinking about Patty. I'm thinking about the other linebacker.
Who? I don't know which one.
Can you guys help me? I'm looking it up.
I'm confused.
Guys, it was the same draft.
Mike, I've been in news.
Oh yeah, I thought you were talking about him. I thought you were talking about him. I wasn't sure.
Let me explain, okay? Patrick Queen, Kenneth Murray. They're both drafted in the same draft. Leave me alone, okay?
I know what you're talking about, Kenneth Murray.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm honestly like, I've been quiet. You know, my fandom has not been released this entire podcast. It has not. I have not said a single word as a Cowboys fan at all. I've just been, along for the ride. Your two teams are in there still, so I'm just like, okay, like, yeah, let me just sit back. But George Pickens jogging on these routes against the Lions had me just, what are you doing? I mean, CD gets hurt.
He was really trying hard against Green Bay. He was really trying hard.
He was really balling out against the Chiefs too. And then a week later, it's like, where did this guy go? I mean, you just lost out on $20 million last week, in my opinion. I think George Pickens was going to be one of the highest paid receivers in football, regardless of what team he went to next year. And I think the problem is, I don't even know if you can really, if you have a game like that where you're jogging, you're kind of just, like, turn around, catch it. Like, I mean, like, dude, you were supposed to show up in those games. But last week, the Cowboys showed they can't finish in the red zone. And that's been the problem for the last couple years now. You're settling for field goals when you need to get 6.
I wouldn't be blaming the offense. Defense.
Well, I think, but the offensive line wasn't helping out Dak anyways. It didn't matter. You know how many times Dak was sacked in that game? 6. There's no way that Dak Prescott, he still throws for 300 yards, by the way. This offensive line was not helping him. Dak Prescott is one of the most pressured quarterbacks this season. And he's still on pace to have 5,000 yards. And guess what? He will be the 4th quarterback in NFL history to throw for 5,000 and miss the playoffs. That is a possibility. The Cowboys just wasted Dak Prescott's best season of his career. I think Dak has been playing the best football I've seen, in my opinion. I think he has.
I would agree. I would agree.
The situations he's been in, he's not even a mobile quarterback. And he's still running and throwing the ball with elite accuracy. He is 1st in the league in QBR. He is 2nd in passing touchdowns. There is nothing that you can say about Dak that is bad. Nothing. He has no help. The defense this is the worst Cowboys defense I've ever seen as a Cowboys fan. It's terrible. Terrible. You can't even tell me any other. You cannot sit here and be like, yep, there's worse defense the Cowboys have had. No. Deron Bland and Trayvon Diggs, we invested $180 million in those guys. Both of them suck. Deron Bland is terrible. What is he good at?
It's not going to get much better with your owner, so.
But like,
could have given that to Micah Parsons.
Okay, I'm very, very glad you said that, Mike. Our owner, I don't even think Jerry has been the issue this year. I think this is one of the best rosters he's put together. He honestly made the Micah Parsons trade not even look all that bad. We got Quentin Williams and Logan Wilson and a 1st-round pick. You're telling me that's not a genius move there? I can't even blame Jerry Jones this year. It's not his fault. He can't go on the field and play. He also can't play call for Matt Eberflus, who's terrible. But also, it's not completely Eberflus's fault. I know a lot of it is.
The scheming is terrible.
But he can't go out there and make the tackles. Yeah, the scheming is bad. Why did we blitz so much? And why do we play cushion cut? Why are we playing? There was a game against the Eagles this year where, I'm kid you not, a cornerback was playing 10 yards back.
That's what they
on
did.
A.J. Brown. And we had the Eagles on the 2-yard line. They were back in the end zone. Out route completion, 1st down. What the? Like,
as a Texans fan, I know Eberflus from his Colts days.
He sucks. He's terrible.
Eberflus equals prevent defense. I mean, it's ridiculous.
And the Cowboys personnel is not really made for that. We don't have the guys to be able to, but also the guys that we have, our secondary can't do anything. We're getting cooked by every single team this year. The Bears lit it up on us. I mean, come on, dude. That was the worst game. I mean, you could just look at the Cardinals lit us up. I was at that game. That game was so hard to watch. That was a tough watch, man. Whew.
Yeah. But Jackson, I think you're right, though. I think the Cowboys kind of set themselves up for the future, though.
Yep.
Set themselves up really nicely. I think you got like probably 2 or 3 years of Dak Prescott playing at this high level. And I think with an extra first round pick this year, your own first round pick next year, Quentin Williams, like you can make some moves on this defense, lock up George Pickens and Javonte Williams. You got a good team.
Yeah. This is a team that'll be better next year. We'll be better. We'll be contending next year. We could contend.
Really interesting.
We could contend next year. But this year,
for the division. For the division, 100%.
Yeah.
Super Bowl, we'll see.
First order of business is to trade Trayvon Diggs and Deron Bland. I mean, I don't know.
Why would any team want any of those players? You have to take on that massive contract.
Yeah, they got him.
No way anyone's going to take that. I'm sorry.
But if the Cowboys would have snuck in at the playoffs with 10 or 11 wins, you probably would have given Dak Prescott the MVP this year. So the Cowboys defense cost Dak Prescott the MVP, arguably.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if they sneak into the playoffs, he might still get it. I don't know.
In my opinion, you can't give a guy.
Who's your MVP, Mike?
It's a great question.
I think it's Stafford.
Yeah.
30 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I mean, you got to give it to him.
I still lean Taylor.
I don't know.
I don't know. I think Taylor's kind of.
Is that even a thing?
Yeah, Drake May's in there. I think he's an MVP candidate for sure. I don't know. Jonathan Taylor's. I think that ship sailed a while ago, dude. I'm not even gonna lie. That ship sailed a while ago. It was a conversation for a little bit, but I don't think it's a. I don't think it's a real conversation.
If you look at what the Colts offense is now at, what's gonna be asked of Jonathan Taylor in this Colts offense?
But also, he's not going to do anything. You think he's going to do well against Seattle? You think he's going to do well against Jacksonville? I mean, those are two good rushing defenses. I think Jonathan Taylor, like Derrick Henry, can do well against any defense. I think Jonathan Taylor is arguably the best running back in football. Like, he is that good. But what is he? The last couple weeks, he has not been doing that. A couple
of fantastic performances across these games and single-handedly carries the Colts to wins, like we've seen him be able to do.
No. Because all the teams are going to do are stack the box, especially with Phillip Rivers now. But the problem wasn't Jonathan Taylor. It was the defenses he was going against. I said 2 weeks ago at Wayne, when we do our fantasy show, I was like, I even put it, like we do a little friendly wager every week. And I'm like, look, listen, put it on the wall right now. It's like week 10 or 12. I'm like, Jonathan Taylor's not going to have more than 2 games with 100 yards rushing. And the last 3 games in a row, no 100-yard games.
That's what I'm saying. He hasn't been the same.
It's not his fault. Again, when you crowd the box, that's literally your entire offense. And when you're playing a team like the Texans, like the Jaguars, like the Seahawks, all very good run defenses, and even the Niners, they're not great against the run, but they're still like a top 15 team against the run. So it's like the matchup for him is just really bad.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying.
That's fair.
That's why I don't think he's going to have success.
What is the MVP odds? Let me see.
You know who's third? You know who's third right now?
Is it Taylor?
It's Jordan Love.
Oh my gosh. Hell.
Who's first? Who's first?
Has it
Stafford?
Stafford. It's Stafford. It goes Stafford, Maye, Love last time.
What's the odds?
It's like plus like 10,000, something like that.
On Jordan Love?
And he's third? He's the third candidate, and he's plus 10,000.
Right now, what's the odds? Do you know?
I couldn't
pull it up.
I'm gonna look.
I'm gonna look.
But Jordan Love, but yeah, like don't sleep on Jordan Love, especially like look at Jordan Love's numbers. We all talk about Matthew Stafford.
But Matthew Stafford has
Jordan Love's numbers.
Matthew Stafford's numbers are better. They're better. You can look at it. You can look at it. They're better.
They are better.
All right, I got the odds.
35 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. I mean, come on. Like, that's insane, dude. That is insane. And I also think the reason that Matthew Stafford needs to get the MVP is because before the season, he was hurt. Everyone's like, oh, Matthew Stafford, he's old. Like, he's not going to do as good because he's hurt going into the season. But look at the season he's had. But also, this is probably the best receiving core he's ever had. I mean, you've got Puka Nacua, you've got Devontae Adams. I mean, there's a bunch of other guys that have played huge roles on that offense too. But I mean, just the way he throws the ball, right? He puts it right in the bucket every single
But when
week.
you talk about value, when you talk about valuable, you said it. Like, it's kind of a loaded offense. Like, how valuable is Matthew Stafford to that offense? I'm not saying he's not valuable.
I mean,
he's so
the
valuable.
Most valuable is Matthew Stafford the most valuable player to that Rams team right now?
Absolutely. If you take Matthew Stafford,
100% Puka Nakua.
But if you don't have Matthew Stafford throwing
Devontae
Puka
Adams
Nakua
isn't
the
as
ball,
open
then
in the
who's he
red
gonna?
zone as
He's not going to be
Devontae
effective.
Adams isn't as open as he is without Puka Nakua.
If you're going to give an MVP
Dude,
to the Rams,
no.
it's Sean McVay. I mean, there's no argument there.
Yeah, but you need both of those guys. And also Puka is not as good without Matthew Stafford, but also Matthew Stafford without Puka is not as good. So it goes vice versa. Like you need both of those guys to have the impact that you're having right now with the Rams.
Guess who's number 6 in the MVP voting?
Who?
Drake. It's Bo Nix.
I mean, I think Drake May has a decent case if Matthew Stafford wasn't having such a great season.
Well, it's also like you look at Drake May's numbers, and it's honestly pretty appalling. He's not great. I mean, he's thrown 23 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. You know, he's like that's the thing with Stafford. He's a good 9 touchdowns ahead of the guy in second.
Drake May only has 6 interceptions. Yeah, he only has 6 interceptions.
See?
Yeah, he only has 6, and he's also thrown.
Hold up.
He's also thrown for 200 yards in every single game this year. So, like, what do you mean his numbers aren't good? He's thrown for 200 yards every single week.
I'm just saying the touchdown category. I mean, I'm just saying the touchdown category. You're
thrown for 23 touchdowns.
Again,
by the end of the year, he could have 30. Again, that's not an MVP.
Again, you're looking at MVP numbers. It's like 23 touchdowns is not. It's not
right now, now. But he could definitely throw for 7 in the next 4 games. Easily.
Again, Matthew Stafford's not going to throw for 0 in the next 4 games. So it's like he's probably going to have 50. He's on pace for probably about 40, 50 touchdowns. So it's like I don't know.
So it probably is Stafford. It probably is Stafford, which gets him his first ever MVP.
Unless the Cowboys sneak into the playoffs.
I just don't like the.
Unless the Cowboys sneak into the playoffs.
Guys, it's not gonna happen.
It's
really just not. The Cowboys are gonna figure out some way how to mess up this game this Sunday.
Well,
versus the Vikings.
That argument, Cowboys against Cowboys is
we always
but the Eagles are just in such an utter collapse right now.
They could lose to the freaking Raiders.
Do the Eagles win another game? Genuinely.
Kenny Pickett beats the Eagles. I will
genuinely.
If the Eagles lose to the Raiders, I will give you guys personally $100 each. I will put
right now.
If the Eagles beat the Raiders, if the Eagles lose the Raiders, I will give you guys $100 each. That is not going to happen.
It really isn't that impossible.
I don't think it's going to happen. The Raiders are so bad.
I don't either, but I mean, listen, I think the Raiders are poverty right now. I mean, Pete Carroll just looks like he's just old, and they just gave up. The offensive line is like toddlers.
But also, Gino is not as good as everyone thought he was going to be.
Gino is hurt.
But also the other thing that hurts them is that like Genty, everyone said he's had a rough rookie year, but like we've never seen a rookie running back come into the league with this amount of attention when it comes to a scouting report. I mean, he's literally the only player on the Raiders that can actually do something outside of Brock Bowers. I mean, it's really just those 2 guys, and it's easy to beat the Raiders if you can game plan for just 2 people. That's all you got to worry about.
Offensive line is.
They have no offensive line. No offensive line.
Myles Garrett, did they even play? I don't even know, but he had like 2 games with like 4 or 5 sacks. I'm pretty sure one of them was against the Raiders. Had to be.
Myles Garrett's just different, bro.
Myles Garrett defense play. Myles Garrett might be the easiest defensive player of the year since Aaron Donald. Like it's just
he's so good.
I know we haven't talked about him that much. I know I'm gonna bring up Cleveland. Shedeur Sanders, bro. He threw for 300 yards last week. Is Shedeur Sanders the guy that Cleveland has been looking for?
Is Shedeur Sanders what Cleveland's looking for? I mean, it's realistically Cleveland just since Baker Mayfield, like they just decide they don't like players, and it's like, hey, Baker Mayfield's going to be a savior of the franchise. Let me just see you later. It's the same thing with Shedeur. The Browns took 14 weeks to figure out that Shador is more talented than Dylan Gabriel. It took me 5 seconds to look at it on paper. I don't know. But yeah, Dylan Gabriel's not good. And the only reason the Browns liked him was because of his accuracy. And his accuracy, offense wasn't very good. The only thing that people should knock Shador for in the Browns organization was the fact that he runs around, he does too much with his leg. That's actually a good thing. He's more explosive. And the fact that he wasn't on the field for the 2-point conversion, just fire everybody.
Yeah, that was weird. That was weird, dude.
I mean, what the hell are you doing?
Why?
Yeah, I think Shador Sanders should have been a second. I think what Shador Sanders is showing right now, it just proves that he should have been a first or second round pick.
He was definitely a late first.
Is Shador Sanders better than Cam Ward?
No,
it's a little far.
No.
I mean, what has Cam Ward done this year?
What is
who's his number one wide receiver?
No one.
Shimmerang DK?
What is it? Is it Elik Ayomayer?
Yeah, it's that rookie, I think.
Or is it Shimmerang DK? I don't know. But
DK.
I'll be honest, I never heard of those players in my life.
That offensive line's terrible. You have Brian Callahan as his head coach.
Please.
And the Titans are a dumpster fire. Poor Cam Ward. Cam Ward's shown flashes. It hasn't been pretty. But
Titans
then again,
pick it up.
if Shador Sanders was on the Titans, it wouldn't be pretty.
Oh, it'd be worse.
Like Kevin Stefanski is a 2-time coach of the year. Like he's got a good head coach. He's got a proven offensive play caller. Cam Ward has nothing.
I honestly think Stefanski got to get fired. I mean, he's been there 5 years and he hasn't done anything.
He's made the playoffs a couple times.
He's been the best coach in Cleveland Browns history.
How long are we going to give him this excuse, man? He's won 8 games in the last 3 years? 4 years?
But the quarterback situation, it just hasn't been.
Well, that's just the Browns thing, though. I don't even think that's a Stefanski thing. I think that's just history-wise. If we just get our books out and look at all the quarterbacks the Browns have had, it's like they barely give these guys a shot. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the Browns drafted a quarterback again this year. The way they do it. They very well could draft another quarterback.
Receivers. Jerry Judy's not a number one wide receiver.
Jackson, you're so right. Jackson,
they definitely could. Right. They definitely could. I mean, dude, if you got Dante Moore and Fernando Mendoza and the Browns have a top 2 pick, I guarantee you one of them is going to go to Cleveland. I'm telling you.
I don't even think these guys should be top 3 picks.
The Browns drafted 2 quarterbacks. They drafted Shador Sanders in the 5th round.
You're right, but Jackson is also right.
Fair enough.
Look at the Browns organization. You picked, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Jalen Milroe got picked ahead of Shador Sanders and Dylan Gabriel.
Hold on. I don't know about Dylan. Yeah, I think so. Maybe Dylan Gabriel.
They were the same round.
Sanders. Definitely Shador Sanders.
But still, it's bro, what are we doing? I mean, when are the Browns going to figure it out? Just get a Shador, obviously, for me.
Jets.
I think he's not bad. Browns, he has potential. It's just he's Shador Sanders, so everyone hates him.
Terrible.
But that's what I don't think Shador even gets the love in the coaching staff. That's why I think Stefanski should get fired.
It took him 15 weeks to start the right guy.
Right. You're evaluating what are you evaluating?
Just because his last name is Sanders.
What does that mean?
Sanders.
Shador Sanders is one of the most accurate college quarterbacks ever.
If his dad wasn't Deion Sanders, he would have been drafted in the 2nd round. But because he was off, it was all this bogus. He is very well spoken. He is literally a leader. He says all the right things. It's they made him to be the villain. Why? Why?
It was Cleveland, and they're a poverty franchise.
No, I'm nobody really needed a quarterback. His draft class was terrible for quarterbacks. I mean, but still, Shador.
But is this next one any better? I mean, it's not. It's probably worse.
I think Mendoza's probably all these quarterbacks are probably mid to late, maybe 2nd round picks. It's maybe I think late 1st, early 2nd is
but ideal. The problem is a lot of teams need quarterbacks, so they're obviously
look at Will Levis. Will Levis was drafted 2nd round. I mean, that's kind of where all these guys are being ranked. It's they have the talent. Will Levis he had an arm. He didn't have much of a brain.
He had an arm.
He had an arm.
He had a hell of an arm.
He just couldn't read a defense. Oh my gosh. The Will Levis memes it's just so funny. It's so funny.
Listen, the quarterback situation at the bottom of the league is probably the worst it's ever been. The worst it's probably
Who doesn't have a quarterback?
Ever been.
Let's go.
You look at the quarterbacks on top, it's there's a really good, solid quarterback.
Well, the Raiders don't have a quarterback.
Raiders don't have one. 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 Raiders don't have one
I mean, you could argue the Cardinals. The Cardinals
Steelers
do not.
probably
The
won't
Cardinals
have
do not have
They
a
should trade
quarterback.
Kyler.
Cardinals won't have one. The Vikings arguably don't have one, but they're gonna give Jay. You got to give McCarthy another year if you invest.
What about the Commanders?
But
what the heck's going on?
Jay Daniels is just hurt. They have one.
Why is he playing?
He's hurt.
I don't know.
He's hurt, bro.
He's hurt. Jay Daniels is hurt.
I mean, honestly, there isn't that many teams.
Do the Eagles have a quarterback?
Yes.
Vegas doesn't have a quarterback.
They do. They do. The only reason the Eagles have a quarterback is because he fits their scheme.
Raiders.
He fits what they're trying to do. And they won a Super Bowl, so like
Raiders,
obviously you're going to keep him around.
Raiders.
Yeah, Raiders are definitely the one right there.
Raiders, Jets.
Yeah,
I would even say the Dolphins don't have a quarterback right now.
Yeah, but what are you going to do with that Tua contract? I mean, you can't just. You
got to get. Tua's just going to be there another year. I think you should consider drafting one. But I mean, they started winning games, so they've kind of ruined their draft spot. So you don't draft a quarterback. So you do rock out Tua next year.
Yeah, they kind of won for the wrong reasons. I mean, they're like 6 and 7. Like, I don't even know how the Dolphins are even 6 and 7 right now. That's crazy.
Still make the playoffs.
Mathematically, yeah, they're still in it. I mean, that's wild because I thought the Dolphins were one of the worst teams.
It shows you how bad the AFC is. That just show like 9 wins gets you the 7 seed right now.
Well, it's 1%.
Like if you win out, if you finish 9-8 in the AFC, you probably are getting the AFC. If you got to win like 11 games in the NFC.
I mean, there's still 4 teams alive in the NFC too, so it's not like it's that crazy. There's 4
They're
teams
alive,
to 5, so
but
sure.
Well, who are those 4 teams? The Cowboys, the Panthers.
Same thing in the AFC though.
Like those are probably the teams that have the
Cowboys,
best
Panthers,
chance.
Dallas, Minnesota is somehow still alive. So it's like Minnesota's the same hopes as Miami, but still.
Yeah, and Minnesota is not going to do anything either.
I don't know. Miami right now is probably a lot better.
Yeah, it's tough. I don't know. I feel like this year I don't even know what the Super Bowl is going to be. I really have no idea. I don't even know what team I think is the best. It just goes week by week. It's just I wish the AFC was a little bit more like of a sure thing. Like I wish the top 2 seeds didn't have as many question marks as they do. I feel like Denver is like. I mean, we were talking about fraud teams. I mean, I feel like Denver's one right there that I feel like it's kind of a fraud team in my opinion. I know a lot of people probably aren't going to like that, but I mean, they barely beat the Jets. Okay, they have to score like 33 to beat the Colts in 1 quarter. I mean, they have some crazy wins that required an insane amount of luck. So it's like, how legit are they? But also, it's like, hey, they
not really
can
luck,
win close
it's just
games.
One-score games, but still, I agree.
But like those games, like are crazy when you go back and watch it. They should not have won those games.
Look at the 2024 Vikings. I mean, they won what 12 of their 14 wins were 1-touchdown games. I mean, it's like that's the same team right there. It's just that their defense is so good that can their offense be consistent enough? And when you play the Commanders and put up 28 points, not very impressive. When you play the Colts, terrible pass defense and put up 30, not very impressive. So it's like, if the Broncos get the Texans round 1, good luck. But like when it comes down to like top 3 teams in each conference for me, I like New England. And then I don't really know where to go from there. Houston, maybe if the Chiefs get in. Jacksonville looks pretty good. Denver, maybe, sure. But NFC is probably really confident in like the Rams, the Packers, and probably another team between the Niners, Seahawks, and there's not really anybody else I trust after that.
I think it's Rams, Packers, NFC Championship. That I think I can. I think I can definitely pencil that.
That's it.
But that's gonna be a good game.
I think so. I think that's the move.
I don't know. I think the Packers.
Talk about one of the most open NFL years of all time. I mean, anybody can win it, man.
Anyone.
Yeah, it's. Let me know in the
Lions,
comments.
Like the Lions sneaking at 7, they're kind of dangerous. I don't know.
Are they though? I don't think so.
You don't trust Jared. I don't trust Jared. I don't trust Jared.
I mean, I'm sorry, but like the Packers
they are a talented team.
The Packers owned them this year. I mean, they beat the crud out of them first game, and then they beat them again at Detroit.
Packers Lions round 1. How do we feel about that,
dude? Packers are winning. It's not even a question.
But what are we talking
about? The Packers are a way better team.
It's hard to beat a team 3 times. It's hard to beat a team 3 times in the NFL.
But the Lions are relying on Jahmyr Gibbs to go crazy. And how often can you rely on that?
Against us. Jahmyr Gibbs, for whatever reason, struggles against us. You all saw the graphics on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I mean, you're expecting him to do what he does, like go off against. I just don't see that.
Again, it's not likely, but that's the point of like when we had a conversation earlier in the year, we were like, oh yeah, well, I remember you saying the Eagles But I didn't like the
Yeah,
Eagles
definitely
at all.
don't think that now. Definitely don't.
It's like the Eagles that I like them coming into this year. They lost so much on defense with Josh Sweat and all the other guys there, but it's like, we look at like before the season, like I probably didn't expect New England to be where they're at, Denver to be where they're at. And then that's probably about it. I think the Seahawks are surprising. But outside of that, it's like the Commanders were really disappointing. And the Chiefs are really disappointing. I don't really have any. Maybe the Colts are surprising too, but like that's kind of where my head's at.
Yeah, the Commanders are probably the most disappointing team out of anybody because they came in with Super Bowl hopes. Like, all right, we made the NFC Championship game. Let's go.
Yep.
Let's make a run. And then,
I really thought they were gonna
boom,
be good,
it just completely blew up. Like, I mean, it's been a bad year.
I really thought
for Washington. I did not see that coming.
You could kind of predict maybe a little sophomore slump because it just kind of happens with quarterbacks. But I mean, man, everything has gone wrong for Washington this year. Everything that could go wrong for Washington this year did. But it's kind of what happens when you rely on a bunch of 37-year-old band-aids on defense and roster. You just sign a bunch of
it's horrible.
They signed a bunch of veterans and expected it to be okay, and it wasn't. So.
That might be the worst defense.
What's Washington's outlook for the future besides Jane Daniels, who's uberly talented, but that roster
they need to get a running back.
Serious holes.
They need a running back.
Serious holes on that roster.
Need a defense
going forward. You need a defense. You need a running back, and you need a wide receiver outside of Terry McLaurin. Like that. Like I mean,
Debo's okay.
Yeah, but I mean,
Ertz's career is over.
Debo's getting old. Like he's not the same. Anything else we need to touch on, boys? I think we've kind of covered everything in this podcast.
This was a good one.
It's been a good chat, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of football chat. Mike Zanetti, of course. James Irvin, of course. Go give them a follow on Instagram. I'll put their links in there. Go check out what they're doing on TV as well. Show some love as well. Man, that's going to go ahead and do it for this episode of The Take with Jackson Burleson. Of course, subscribe, hit the notification bell, like this video as well. Comment who you guys got winning the Super Bowl and what do you guys think about this parody in the NFL? Because it's crazy. But we'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.
Talk to me, baby. Talk to me nice. I'm from another world, baby, yeah. Broadway paradise. They think I'm way too cold, cause I put my